A united voice standing against privatization leads to a lost Senate chairmanship, another effort to slowly chip away its state-funded pensions, and a fix for Senate Bill 736. Hello, I'm Andy Ford, President of the Florida Education Association, and welcome to Week 4 of the FEA Frontline Video Report. The claim that prison privatization will save money for the state is being debated by lawmakers on both sides of the chamber, while citizens opposing the plan question the true cost to local communities and people's lives. Speaking in a united voice, groups against prison privatization gathered at the Capitol to send a strong message to the Republican leadership. Senator Mike Fasano from Newport Richey led the charge, stating Governor Scott and legislative leaders are trying to cook the books in favor of two private for-profit corporations that would take over 27 state prisons. Opponents say the move will siphon more dollars from local communities and endanger lives throughout the state.
Tallahassee politicians want to change the rules to hide the economic impact of privatization from voters so that they can reward special interests with contracts even when they cost more and less efficient. The money will go towards companies that aren't even in the state of Florida. The money that should be routed back to the people is being taken away. As we privatize industry and the prisons, schools are next.
In retaliation to Senator Fasano's opposition, Senate President Herodopoulos stripped the senator of his chairmanship on the Budget Subcommittee on Criminal and Civil Justice Appropriations. A measure that would lower the state retirement age for some state employees has hit a snag. Police, firefighters, and other retired state employees who fall into the special risk class are opposing the proposed bill because it includes a provision that could have an adverse impact on the state pension fund. Last year's changes to the Florida retirement system included increasing the retirement age to 60. The new bill would drop the retirement age from 60 to 55 or 25 years of service. But the proposed legislation also includes a provision that would automatically funnel new employees into a 401k style retirement plan. That would pull more people from the current state retirement system and potentially create unfunded liability for the state.
And that is every time that we encourage state or public employees into the investment plan as opposed to the pension plan, there is a hidden cost to the taxpayers.
Currently, the Florida retirement system is stable and well managed, unlike many pension funds in other states. Some opponents say lawmakers are chipping away at the current system in order to slowly shut it down. Although we are almost halfway through the legislative session, the FEA is still working hard to get a hearing on a proposal that could provide a fix for one of the problems with Senate Bill 736. More than 60% of Florida's teachers do not have students who take the FCAT. This includes computer technology, social studies, history, art, music, physical education, kindergarten, and ESE teachers. But according to Senate Bill 736, if you are a non-FCAT teacher, you would still receive a performance evaluation based on test scores of students you never taught. You would be assessed in areas that have nothing to do with what you teach. Most districts do not have end-of-course exams or appropriate measures to determine student learning growth in these areas. This proposal would ensure that non-FCAT teachers are fairly evaluated and remove one of the punitive one-size-fits-all impacts of Senate Bill 736. Unlike many other legislative proposals, this is a measure written and supported by teachers, not corporate interests. Be assured, FEA will continue to work to have a fair hearing for this proposal. It was a busy week in Florida's capital for us, and it ended on a high note when on Thursday, teachers and education professionals from United Teachers of Dade, joined by doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers from SEIU, traveled to Tallahassee and delivered the message that educators and healthcare professionals won't stand for Governor Rick Scott's false choice of robbing Medicaid to begin replenishing cuts to public education.
Education and health care is important for all children. They shouldn't have to choose, nor should their parents have to choose. And so we are so pleased today to come together, as we will stay together, to make sure that our economy is a fair economy for everyone in the state of Florida.
Advocates instead called on lawmakers to support the Fair Economy Act, a series of bills that would start making wealthy corporations pay their fair share in order to balance Florida's budget responsibly. If passed, the Fair Economy Act would raise more than $500 million annually to protect the health care and education of our children, while also making our tax system more just and fair for middle-class Floridians. Make sure to check out feaweb.org for the latest information on the legislative session. While you are there, sign up for FEA's Take Action alerts, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. But before we leave, we want to share the FEA Bill Watch List. These are important proposals that we need to carefully monitor throughout the legislative session. Make sure to stay up to date with the FEA Frontline Video Report. We'll see you again next week.